Hey everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants, and we're finally getting to Drag Race Thailand Season 2, Episode 4 review, Mothers and Daughters. Thank you so much for your patience. You know, I have been working and doing a whole bunch of things in the background here, so I really appreciate your patience while I get this up for you. Now, this was not my favorite episode. I'm just going to go ahead and start this off right now. I am not going to read these babies as hard as I normally do because I was very indifferent about a lot of things. Like, I didn't like this dress, but I wasn't mad about it. Or I didn't like this, but I didn't really hate it. So I'm going to try my best to get through this review. And I thank you so much again for tuning in. All social media links are down below at Matty Rants on Instagram and Facebook, at the Matty Rants on Twitter. If you want to donate to the channel, that's paypal.me/Matty Rants, Cash App $Matty Rants, and we also have the merchandise store open too for teespring.com. Let's get into it. The queens come back into the workroom to discuss Maya Biharo's wins and also give Katie Killer some love. They asked Kana to impersonate her and she gave a really funny one because it was bitch and all that type of stuff. Everyone misses Katie, but we're all ready for the next stage in the competition. As you remember, this isn't she already done had hers, they're still with she-mail. And when they received said message, it had something to do with love, and that being the message of the episode. Then Art and Pan Pan, hey y'all, come into the room in some gray, beautiful, Art had a beautiful gray suit, and women's suit, I should say. Let me catch that. And Pan Pan came in this really great coat and pants number, and I was so here for it. Pan Pan is so cute. They brought the first mini challenge, which involved the girls having to paint each other blindfolded. All right, let's see how this goes. The girls basically had to paint each other and then do each other's faces, with the exception of Vanda Miss Joaquin, who was picked last and had to work with Pan Pan, which technically she just did Pan Pan's face and Pan Pan wasn't gonna do her face. Pangina said, nah, girl, listen, do this mug, but we're not helping you. It was a really fun challenge, and the girls got to, try their best with the materials that they were given in front of them that they could, I guess, feel around and figure out what it was. The winner of the mini challenge was Miss Guam High and Kana Warrior. I think it actually was just Miss Guam High because she honestly did Kana's face really great. I don't know what Kana was doing with Miss Guam High's face. But Miss Guam High, she did that. Now, we get on to the Maxi challenge, which is also the runway challenge for this episode, which is a makeover challenge. But we see 11 men walk in with different fabrics or whatnot, and the queens are then given the opportunity to choose specifically who they want to work with to then make them over. The idea is to have a drag mother and daughter, and this is for a wedding day. So your drag mother is getting your daughter ready for her wedding day. We have seen this concept before on RuPaul's Drag Race. So I'm not bothered by that. That's not an issue for me. I just, the whole, let me get this straight man together bit and let me see him walk in heels and oh, it's so funny, he can't walk. Get some sissies in there or some good puss in that motherfucking room and let them have it so we can actually have babies walking down the runway with some strength and some ability and it not always be this awkward situation, even though there were some people from this episode that I thought did really well that came out of the makeover challenge, but it just, to me, I'm just never like fully invested in this type of challenge. So nothing against Drag Race Thailand for this, or RuPaul's Drag Race for that matter. It's just, this is not my jush. Miss Guam High starts it off first with picking who she would like to work with. And then after that, she chooses the next queen who then gets to pick. The person who was left last to choose their queen was Mocha Diva. So whoever was left, that's what she got. A lot of the girls started with the boys who felt they had no facial hair, a little bit more feminine features. And as they worked their way down the line, the last three men, I think except for the last one specifically, all had facial hair. Or I think they all had facial hair. It was fun seeing them all in the workroom. I guess the queens were tasked with not only making the outfits for them and then also getting their own looks together as drag mothers, but they need to understand who these people are that they're working with, learn their aesthetic, and make sure that their aesthetic works with what their drag is, and then bring it to the stage, the best way that they can. Now, Jeannie did have a tough choice here with the guy that had the longer beard who did not want to shave off his beard. And she even asked him, and, you know, they had to translate, and he was like, no, this ain't going anywhere. So she said, I'm up for the challenge and I'll take it. I like queens like that. Oh, I'm not afraid. I was one of the last people picked, but there were options. I could have chosen any of them, but let me pick the one I think is going to be the most difficult. I'm here for it. Candy was a little bit worried because she wanted to make sure everything looked good with her, you know, daughter. And it was all about, do I edit this? What did they like? You know, communication was key. And sometimes people weren't really communicating with everybody. It was sort of, what do you like? You like this? Okay, cool. And maybe a few people didn't feel like they could relate, like Angelique with her queen at first, you know. It's like, talk to them, get to learn them a little bit more. So it was really nice to see that with the queens, and I'm actually was very much here for that part of the show. As you can see, I'm moving through this quickly. Now we get to the runway, and I gotta give it up for Miss Art Araya, Miss Thing. Now Art, that was a look. That was a look. Puss, 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 puss. Art gave us puss. It was so good, honey. I lived and breathed for it. It was very Mary of Magdalene, Mother, but in a whole different twist with this, you know, the headpiece that was done where it could give you that whole ethereal look with the, I guess the halo or whatever that's going around it in the Catholic Church. I'm not Catholic, I don't know. And then just with the giant cross, the way it looked, it was very, very polished, very well done. Thank you once again for bringing us something amazing to the stage. And by the way, your sister and her husband, who were also guest judges today, were absolutely fabulous, cute, gorgeous, lovely. I was so enamored with how infectious they were. I loved it. I loved her pink outfit that she had, and the husband had on his tuxedo with, you know, the feathers up top. I was here for it. I loved every minute of that. But again, as usual, because Miss Panjana Heels is that bitch. She's always been that one. She will always forever be. Pan. What? Your hair was so right. Your makeup was so done. The neck piece was, everything I needed and then some. But girl, the outfit itself with the painted artwork that went from chest to toe, tips of the fingers and down. Bitch, we don't deserve you. We don't deserve you, Pan. I was living. Thank you for once again coming out to the stage and letting the girls know how it's done. Your drag is my kind of drag that I live and breathe for. And bitch, if I ever did any kind of drag, that's the look I'm going for. So Pan, thanks again for giving us all that we could ever need. Puss. Onto the runway. Cack. Onto the runway, please. Cack. Now we have made it to the runway, and I'm just going to keep it brief with a lot of them. And I'm going to talk a little bit more with others who I felt just gave it. Okay, because it's a little difficult again with the makeover challenge, and you're working with somebody who possibly may have been a piece of driftwood the other day, and now they have found their way on the branch with a blossoming flower. So we'll start this off in order. This is Tormai and Torlay, I believe. Now, Tormai means silk, from what I read, thanks to Kuda Lacorn, who I once again watch all of these episodes through on Twitter. Kuda Lacorn. Don't get in that comment section again. I'm just going to start deleting that stuff. Because it's like, y'all, I've given you the options on where to watch this stuff. Like, come on now. The reveal was cute, but y'all, this was basic. A lot of these outfits were basic. And this, to me, I just wasn't really here for. Everything was nice. It just wasn't pow. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't shitty. It just was nice. It's okay. I wasn't wooed. It was okay. Torma, I'm sorry. I wish I had more for your mama, but it was all right. Next up is Maya Biharo and Bora Biharo. I don't like that name. Bora Biharo. I don't like that name. So Maya was giving you glam mother realness, while the daughter came out first in traditional garb, because she did say she was half Korean, half Thai. So she was like, let me give you a little bit of this. And then when she took off the outfit, it was basically a quinceañera dress. And no shade to any quinceañera dresses, because I've seen some nasty gowns. I've seen y'all walking through the streets too, getting that shit dirty. All right. But it was okay. I didn't hate it. It just gave me something that I would possibly see at someone's teen prom versus a wedding. Next up is Miss Guam High and Hog Hearn. Hong Hearn? I said Hog Hearn, didn't I? Ooh. Miss Guam High and Hong Hearn. If I said that a little strong in the ong, please forgive me. Hong Hearn, excuse me. Thank you, Miss Guam High. Thank you. Thank you. Bitch, this was everything. First of all, I got your mother look. Easy, down, perfect. I was like, yep, that's what she would wear. That's how the hair would be. The way she's acting and presenting herself, done. Miss Guam High is here for it. I'm glad she stepped into this competition again because I was like, girl, if I see one more streamer, I'm gonna lose my grip. I didn't have that problem today because it was all about the character. It was all about her presenting her daughter in the best light, and that's what she did. Not only did she present her daughter in the best light, but her daughter looked good too. That was key to all of this. It's all about the presentation, all about what you're giving and what your daughter's supposed to give and how the moment is supposed to sell on stage. You did that and then some. Very proud of you, Miss Guam High. I was living, and Hong Hearn was here for it. I was, ooh, the kimono, bitch. The kimono. That kimono was right, and that train in the back was it. And when she opened it up and you saw the little rose appliques, done. Lived for it. I love it. So if y'all give this to Miss Guam High, if she sees this, bitch, I was gagged. I don't know how to say that in Chinese, but bitch, if I could, I would tell you gagged, sis. Snaps all the way back. I lived and I breathed. Kana Warrior and Katie Warrior. I did not like that name, Katie Warrior. It's too soon. She just went home. Is that what that's supposed to be about? And I think that Art was saying that it was disrespectful to even have that name, or it was a bad choice later on. And I was like, ooh, girl, not really. But Kana did not look good. Not to me. I just really didn't like it. Even with the drawn on forehead expressions, and she's supposed to be some old prostitute. Didn't really care for it. I thought the wig was right though. I did like the color on her too. I just didn't, so what is what it gave me. It was like, so what? Her daughter too. Yikes. She low-key didn't really have a dress. She just was holding fabric, and there was like this, I guess, a little bit of a slit or something underneath. And then she just threw the fabric like, yay! And it was like, okay. And that face was moop. It was moop. I'm sorry, girl. Something needed to be done here. It needed to be, like, it just needed a little bit of, there should have been more contouring done to the face to give her a little bit of feminine features. Instead, she was giving you Dwight Schrute from The Office, if you know what I'm talking about, and now you look at the face and look back at that again. I'm on it. Wasn't here for it, Con, and I love you, girl, but no ma'am. Next up is Angeli Anang and Nathatilda Anang. I feel better saying that the third time. Yeah, second, third, something like that. Angeli looked perfect. She was mom. She was beat. Her hair was done. Makeup was right. Puss. There's nothing more to it other than it was puss, and it was just, you are bad, bitch. You're a bad bitch, Angeli. Let me tell you, as a mother, you still were sickening. But your daughter was all right with Jesus. I lived and breathed for the daughter's dress. It was so beautiful. The veil and everything and all of that was just amazing. It was drama and it was just perfect the way she was shy and simple and just didn't want to be seen too much and all that type of stuff. But I will give you one critique and one critique only. Angeli, I love you, girl. I love you. You know I do. And thank you for the love you sent me on, I believe it was Instagram. I was like, Angeli. That hair, and this clip is popping up right now. This bit right here, girl, you literally painted into his hair and then had the wig on top. It distracted the horrible fuck out of me. However, I understand that the judges probably weren't that close in, so it wasn't that big of a deal for the camera, for them, but for the cameras and that close up, your daughter looked gorgeous, just gorgeous. It was so pretty, but that part right there, that killed me. Next up is Srimala and Pavali. Pavali looked really pretty and her makeup was done. That is all I got to say. I thought, lies. I thought Srimala wasn't bad looking either, but she looked better than her daughter. And she didn't look like a mother. She looked like somebody who possibly was nominated for some award and she had been there for the 15th time. Not a Susan Lucci, not there yet, but, you know, one of them girls, yeah. But no. What do you want me to say? Just no. No. Candy Cyanide and Kukihana Cyanide. It was terrible. It was, yeah. I had to watch it 3 times, y'all. It was bad. Candy looked not even. She looked like a young girl trying to play a mom, but not a mom being a mom. And then her daughter, rough. That face was rough. Rough. All those music notes didn't help. Once the judges said that it looked like sperm on the face, child, I couldn't take the image out of my head. Obviously, the bride was mad too. Threw the bouquet, looked back like, I wish you would say so. I was like, oh, no, ma'am. I felt bad for Candy because it just seemed like if she had time to edit that down in maybe a little, just a little bit more editing and the face had been done a bit differently, we'd have a different situation here. But the guy, I don't know if he was really, you know, working with her like that or whatnot. It just didn't seem to... It just didn't work out, Mom. I'm sorry. Next up is Vanda Miss Joaquim and Molly. I'm trying to say that without saying like Molly. I feel like I should say Molly, like with a little A in there or something. Because when I say Molly, I just think of the drug and I think of Miley Cyrus and I think of that era. Bangers. Back to Vanda Miss Joaquim. Shout out to you, girl. I saw you commented on my last YouTube video. Much love to you. I like this. I don't know what the judges were talking about. I was actually here for the whole thing. I was here for the daughter. I was here for the presentation. I was here for the umbrella with the flower petals coming out. I thought the daughter looked good. I thought you had a sickening look. I thought your hair was right. I thought you had all the embellishments. You just gave me rich mother. And you were, you know, giving your daughter off, but your daughter just never would, you would never give her the most. You give her enough, but not more than you. I like that. I didn't find any issue with this. To be honest with you, I lived for the look. I thought, what are they talking about? But I liked it. Next up is Genie and Monster. Another look that I was confused that didn't get higher scores, and they actually gave her a little harsh critiques on, but they based it off of Genie's look looking better than the bride's look, which it did. It did, bitch. Genie's bad. I don't care what nobody says. Genie looks good, and Genie gives this really great aesthetic, and I love a little bit of the spook with the glamour feel to it. It's very, very spook glamour. It's very that. I like the whole apocalypse thing with the bombs and I guess sort of the, you know, the smoke or toxic gas that's supposed to happen. And I love the fact that she was able to incorporate his beard and do it in a way that it didn't take away from the illusion she was trying to give her daughter, but also give strength in what he presented to himself. It was very an androgynous, beautiful, feminine, masculine sort of esque thing with a, I don't know, I liked it. I'm throwing words out. I liked it. I did. Next up is Bandit. I love saying it like that. Hi, Bandit. Thanks for the Instagram love, too. And Pornchita Sally. I said, oh, that was real Texas. Hold on. Pornchita. Nope, Matthew. Is that an H that I put in there? Pornchita Sally. Please forgive me for how I said that name and anybody who felt any disrespect behind it because I did not mean that. But that one, I was like, wait a minute. Bandit and Pornchita Sally. I didn't get it. Maybe I don't know. I need to look that up. I apologize. I did not find anything wrong with this look. And when the judges later said, Art specifically, who said, well, girl, this is not on the nose as far as an Indian wedding, and you kind of just threw whatever you had on there, and I wish you would pay more respect to the culture. And I was like, I liked it though. I thought it was beautiful. She looked good. Like, I was surprised from the transformation of male to female. It was good. Honey, it was right. I was like, ooh, I wouldn't be able to clock that person. I wouldn't be able to clock them. I thought it was the tea. I will say though, the colors were a little dry compared to what I know for a lot of weddings in India, as well as the silhouette itself was definitely not. However, I think she was trying to pay that respect, and I gave her a little bit more credit than, say, the others might have done for her. I thought she looked beautiful. So, I don't know, Bandit. And I thought your look was great, too. Very, very much that. But I got what Art was saying. To me, I wasn't as harsh on the critiques with it, but I was like, oh, okay. You made me have to rethink my entire process of liking it, but I still liked it, so. And last but not least is our good girl, Mocha Diva and Divette. Now, okay. I thought Divette looked beautiful. I thought Mocha looked fine as trade. My focus on their outfits and looks, the daughter really just completely blew out Mocha so bad that it was like, I don't know what to say. But she did a good job on on Divette's dress. I thought she was pretty, and it was just this really, beautiful moment for her. So I was really here for that, but honey. Girl, I said when Mocha hit that corner and she turned that arm and that good old muscle tack came up, I said, I need to find out who this person is. Very attractive. But yes, Mocha, it's not my favorite. Wasn't terrible, but wasn't my favorite. No. You brought us the gun show, though. Honey, that was the runway, kids. Let's go ahead and wrap this episode up. So, like I was saying in the midst of some people's critiques that I was giving, that the judges were not really fully here for everybody tonight. They just weren't. Pan said it best. I had 0s, 5s, and 10s. And there was only one 10 for me tonight. I had a little bit of a higher score rating. I would say, 5s, 7s, 10s, and 2s. Not even 2s, just 5s, 7s, and 9. Yeah, 5, 7, 9s, and 10s would have been for me. But, I understood where they were coming from and why they felt like y'all could have done a little bit better than this. So, honestly, the top 2 queens and the only queens to be given sort of the best critiques, not even, are Angeli and Miss Guam High. And Angeli is our winner. Honestly, I agree with the judges with these two being in the top 2. I was like, yeah, pretty much. They sold it and they slayed. And Angeli winning her first win was really great to see. I was very proud of her. So good job, Angeli. And great job, Miss Guam High. I thought you did really well, too. And if you had won, honey, I would not have been shocked. I'd have said, yup, pretty much. Now, the judges then put everybody in a lineup, and it's reading time. It's art. Here's where y'all went wrong, in different languages for that matter. I was here for it. She said, you, you, no, you, I liked, but no, and you, and you, and you. After all that was done, with the following bitches step forward. Candy, Kano, Shree Babe. Everybody else, you can go home. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody else, you can step to the back of the stage. Woo! A lot of bitches were breathing. Like, oh my God, we dodged a bullet. With those 3, though, they say for the first time in Drag Race Thailand history, I believe is this correct? I skimmed through season 1. I believe I'm correct in this, but they did a 3-way lip sync. The 3-way lip sync song, I'll pull out my notes here, baby. Dear John, I write a letter to you, and it's sort of like a spoken word song, very much acting out, not your typical boom cat, which what we normally would like to get. But this one was very Broadway, very spoken word, very poetic, artistic. So how are they going to do this? Baby, when Kana and Srimala pulled out those letters, I already knew where this was going. Kana Warrior, though, is I gotta say, the lip sync assassin, honey. Bitch, did you go get a trash can from the back of the stage? And I know that wasn't one you had ready for the lip sync. It was probably something that you saw and you knew, oh, girl, I'm running back here and getting this bitch. Girl pulled out the trash can. They were ripped. Her and Srimala was on it, too. Ripped up the letters. Oh, bitch, this was all right. It was so much going on. I was like, I have no idea what's happening, but I'm here for this story. I mean, Candy had to get in the midst of it. It was like, yeah, we're all about to be in front of this trash can just crying and sobbing and shit. Then they pull out the potion to kill themselves. Now, Srimala had her own bottle. I was here for this. kind of looked like she pulled out the Evian bottles, the little new ones, the little spray things that they have, I guess for like spritzing or something. I don't know. She pulled out some bottle and pretended to drink it. Because she already had water in her mouth. I don't know what was happening. I didn't know what was happening. And then her mouth started foaming. And I was like, girl, did she put a tab in her mouth and let that shit actually foam up and fry? But when Candy got to her face, cue it behind me, and they shared that spit, the poison they shared, I should say, and died on stage. Y'all, I'm not mad at this. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I was given a full show. Who is saying this is entertaining with the lip syncs? I was entertained. This was crazy, but I was entertained. But somebody had to go. And I honestly was sad to see Candy go. Srimala, though, did that lip sync, and so did Khan. So it was like, you can't deny the talent. But I did want Candy to stay a little bit longer. I wanted to see more from her. Maybe she'll come back. I don't know. I don't need you to spoil it for me in the comments. That's silly, y'all. Just let me watch the show so we can enjoy it together. I've already seen who the winner is because they spoiled it on social media. But guess what? I'm running through this. I'm running through this, okay? And for those who haven't seen it yet, don't spoil it. Don't be an ass. But yeah, tell me what you thought of this week's episode. I don't know why I said this week. This came out many weeks ago. Tell me what you thought of episode 4 of season 2 of Drag Race Thailand, Mothers and Daughters. Who are your favorites? Who do you love? Who did you feel for on the runway? What are your thoughts on this lip sync, child? Are you ready for the next episode? I promise to have these up every Saturday. Let's just keep it on Saturdays. I always say Thursdays, right? No. Next Saturday, I'll have the next episode up again for you. That'll be episode 5, and we'll get into it just like we did before. It's your boy, Matty Rants. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon later on, probably tomorrow, for afterthoughts for RuPaul's Drag Race, as well as other things going on with Post Season 2 coming out and Hot Topics. Hugs and kisses, all my best love and wishes to you.